imagining. Then it goes into law enforcement now using all of this software of pre-crime where, oh, we're arresting you because the actuaries show you're a criminal. This is the system. You talk about RAND helping develop with DARPA what we know as the internet. Here's another one. U.S. should be able to shut down the internet. Former CIA chief says, the disgraced former head of the CIA. New cybersecurity bill gives Obama power to shut down companies that don't agree to go under Homeland Security control. Then they hand out little Homeland Security clearances to all of these private corporate people that the Washington Post reported on, Top Secret USA. Now they're under government control, plus they're getting supplemental money, and they're on a power trip turning everyone into spies. Is this not the scientific dictatorship backed by the military-industrial complex, literally slowly taking over and re-engineering our entire society to where the only jobs you'll be able to get are basically in Homeland Security-related systems? This is taking over our entire economic and social environment where it's impossible to revolt because we are literally married to this system.
Not only that, we're not even aware sometimes that this is what's going on because we take as correct all these premises that we are always devoted to numbers, that we're always just seeking self-gratification, they're only thinking of ourselves. This is why when the United States goes to countries like Iraq or goes to a place like Afghanistan and meets up with hideous people such as the Taliban, but people who are not afraid to die, they don't know how to deal with that because those people do not think in terms of numbers. They think in terms of causes. They think in terms that go beyond the individual. And that's when we run aground. And that's the problem that, you know, we're gonna have whenever we go to a foreign country. But again, I mean, what I want to emphasize is that we have to get away from this. We have to realize that we're not machines. We're not economic processes. We are human beings. We are people, and we are Americans, and we are citizens, which means we have responsibilities, and which means also that we have privileges and rights. We're not consumers. We should get away from this whole concept of whatever we can get at the lowest cost, because we have to think that there are reasons, there are things that go beyond all this that are more important than money. And as long as we keep buying that kind of rationale for our thinking, we're going to keep sinking further and further into this morass, and we're going to be even more susceptible to the kind of technocratic dictatorship that you have been talking about.
Well, again, Mr. Abella, you went right to the documents and found the same thing. I'm just going off what they say. In fact, right over here, for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers, and it's clear I'm going to get you up for a full 2 hours in the near future because your knowledge is so great. It's so refreshing and buoying when I do connect with people like you who see it, because we're literally losing our soul. But here's National Intelligence Council, ISS, European Union, Global Governance 2025 at a critical juncture. Give me a document cam shot. And the National Intelligence Council, Global Trends 2025, a transformed world, they say that by 2025, they're going to have us totally drugged, totally brainwashed, and that they're going to start genetically engineering us as literal suboids. I'm not the one saying this. And that they're going to just basically kill the majority of us. Has your research brought you into this? Because I'm showing these reports. I've read the quotes, you know, in the last 2 years on air. I mean, this is so diabolical. This is what they call full spectrum dominance. Did you run into any of the transhumanist, eugenicist, human engineering plans when you were researching these people?
No, fortunately, those are top secret, and I was not granted top secret access to those things. That's something however, I know that those are subjects that RAND obviously has looked at. I wouldn't say to be fair about this, I wouldn't say that they are totally involved in this. But what you have to realize is that if you set the parameters, if you set the background, if you say, yeah, you can do that because that is a rational thing to do, you're falling into that kind of trap. So even though they may not be the ones who actually set up the test tubes, who actually shoot you give you the injection, they're the ones who are saying that is the right thing to do, and go ahead and do it.
Yeah, they're the brains that set up the new philosophy or thought paradigm that says survival of the fittest, because that's what they state. They say if we don't do this, someone else will do it. And they say if we don't have full spectrum dominance, somebody's going to set up a new weapon system that will destroy the earth. So we've got to take over with pure hard-nosed evil, kind of like Churchill said, the truth must be guarded by a bodyguard of lies.
Right, exactly. It's just awful because, which is my main point, which is it's a lack of ethical considerations. Nowhere, when you deal with people like this, do you get an approach of thinking, well, is this the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do? It's just a very simple thing that we're taught when we're children. You know, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't hit Johnny if he hasn't done anything to you. You shouldn't steal. You shouldn't do things that are bad because they're ethics. These guys don't think in terms of ethics.
Well, what happened 9 years ago? The media tried to sell us that torture was good, even of people's children.
Exactly.
And Jack Bauer was our hero.
Yes, I know. It was appalling. Well, at least Jack Bauer always apologized in a way, and because it had to be done. But, I mean, these other guys, they laughed about it. Remember Abu Ghraib? They made a joke out of it. And we were torturing these people. Regardless of whether they deserved it or not, we are Americans. We don't torture. We don't do that. But undeniably, we were doing it. It was authorized at the highest levels of government. I'm ashamed every time I think of that. I'm ashamed of being American when I hear things like that.
Well, just so you know, sir, they have declassified a lot of this. I mean, I'm reading to you from Global Governance 2025, National Intelligence Council, European Union Security Studies Division, and then I've got the Pentagon U.S. Division here in the second report, Global Trends 2025, A Transformed World, where they talk about turning us into biological androids, and they say the trend is we will be biological androids by 2025. By that, they will totally have full spectrum brainwashing through television, through the culture. They say they're going to remove all of our false morals so they can pre-program. So that's why they don't like real Christians. That's why they don't like Muslims. You can make a judgment about radical Muslims that they're bad or whatever. I mean, I'm not even defending their view of stoning women or whatever. Right. My point is they don't fit into the corporate Borg. The Borg have landed, and it's the Pentagon thinkers, and they're saying we're going to wipe everybody out. And so anybody that doesn't fit in their system, anybody that can see our television and can tell it's brainwashing, even if they are cavemen beating their wives, they're coming in and saying, we're going to wipe these people out then. That's
right. That's why I'm saying we have to take back our country. We cannot allow these people to impose this kind of thinking on us. That's not what America is all about. And as when you're talking about androids, you know, in a way that doesn't surprise me because, you know, a lot of these plans came out of a very obscure office out of the Pentagon, and I'm sure you're aware of it, called the Office of Net Assessment.
Yes.
Andrew Marshall. And, of course, Andrew Marshall was one of the founders of RAND.
Is he still alive?
There. He's 89 years old, and he's still running it.
Well, no, he was in Wired 2 years ago saying, in the future, it will be the drugs our troops are on, not the weapons. And he talks about how to be in the military, but you're going to get like $1 million a year, they're going to put wiring in your head.
Right, exactly. We're machines. We'll become machines.
No, it is Marshall. I mean, you know everything. No, that's what Marshall at 89 is the grand architect, and he says we're all going to be androids. He thinks he's going to live forever. Have you seen his quotes on that?
Yes, I have.
I mean, he's definitely getting massive life extension right now. That guy runs around like he's 25 years old.
Absolutely. So, you know, and he's still there. And not only that.
But see, that's the ultimate sellout, sir. Will you sell out? Will I sell out for the life extension?
You know, God put me here for a certain lifespan, and when it's my turn to go, I will go. You're
a beautiful person, Alex. I tell you, this guy's incredible. I don't think I've had anybody on in years with this knowledge. I usually say this stuff, people think I'm making it up, but to talk to somebody that actually knows it, sir, stay there. We're going to tell folks how to get your book, final segment, but I want to get you with my producer because I want to get you on in the next month for 2 full hours. This is incredible.